Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Are you ready, Brooks? Okay, good morning and welcome to the first press conference session of the tournament. We have with us today from Gonzaga, Eliza Hollingsworth, a graduate student from Melbourne, Australia, and Brenna Maxwell, a graduate student from Gig Harbor, Washington. So fire away with your questions. Hold it. Can we get a microphone? We're going to do a mic run. Right here. And then if you would announce your name and affiliation.
Greg Lee with the Spokesman Review. Eliza, how's preparation gone for tomorrow?
I think preparation has gone really well. I think everyone is in the right mentality going in. Everyone's fired up, focused on the little details. I think team morale is great right now and it's really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with her. I think everyone's pretty locked in and excited to play another basketball game.
Over here on the right.
Good morning, ladies. Ann with ESPN. Okay, it wasn't that long ago that the whole country watched you struggle against Portland. And maybe you would be the first to agree with that, or maybe it was just one of those days. But help us understand the 2-week period that you have had that helps you reset, that helps you get back to Gonzaga ways, mentally, physically, just how ready you are and erasing what happened in Vegas. Both of you have at it.
I can start. I think the important thing for us is to recognize that that team we were when we were playing Portland isn't the team we are now and have been. It definitely was an outlier for us, and I think the best way that we can move forward is to learn from it, but also to let it go and move on. I think the team and the coaches have done a really good job of being able to refocus the group and kind of not hang on to it, because going forward that's not going to help us in the tournament. So we've been able to rally against it, and I think right now we're in a great spot. And yeah, I think it was a bit of a wake-up call in some aspects, but also I think it's going to help us in the tournament for sure.
Yeah, Eliza said most of it, but I think just to add to it, I think if we would have beaten Portland, we wouldn't have dissected the film as well as we did and the coaches did, and I don't think we would have kind of dug into some issues we needed to address. We kind of coasted here, and I really think it's helped us, like Eliza said, it's kind of a wake-up call, and like we got to change our expectations, live up to our standards, and remember who we are. But, at the end of the day, it was just one game. If we play Gonzaga basketball, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
What does it mean for you guys to host when you know you are as tough as you are at home with the student section, with the community? What does it mean to host?
I think it's just really cool for our city. Someone said there's some other stuff going on, but someone said they had to block off an extra 5 miles, 35 miles for space, because so they could fit everyone in. I think that's just so cool for Spokane to have that. It's amazing for our program. I think it's the highest seed we've ever had as a program. But at the end of the day, seeds don't matter. You got to win, and everyone has the same amount of time to do it. And we've got to make sure that we're on our game, because UC Irvine's a pretty good team.
Yeah, I would just add that it is super rewarding. We were on the court yesterday and we're looking around with all the March Madness signs, and it's our home court, but it just feels a bit more surreal. And I was just kind of looking around and being like, we did this, we earned this whole season, got us to this stage. So that was a super rewarding feeling, and I was really proud of our team and all the adversities we've gone through and how hard we've fought the whole season. And I think it's such an advantage for us to be home. Our crowd is phenomenal, one of the best in the nation. We have such a good band, supporters, cheerleaders. It's such a tough environment for teams to come in and to compete here. So that familiarity at home is such an advantage, and yeah, I'm really excited to play here again. I wouldn't want to play anywhere else, and I'm excited for the city, like Brenna said.
Hi, Sydney Berger, KXLY in Spokane. For both of you, being veterans on the team, but not only veterans in this postseason stage, is there a different way that either of you are maybe approaching this miss trying to get past like the first and second rounds?
I think the key is not to treat it like a different game. I think we have to treat every team like everyone wants to win. And at the end of the day, everyone's good enough to be here. And if we kind of treat it differently, I feel like we kind of stray away from what Gonzaga basketball is about. It's a home game. It's a big one, but at the end of the day, it's just a home game. And if we, are locked in and we have the scout down, I'm really excited to see what our team can do.
I would just add that, it's pretty obvious we have some seniors that are contributing to minutes and scoring, and so it is our last year, and it does hold a little bit more weight because we have a timeline coming up and we don't know when that's going to be. But I think to Brenna's credit, we have to still stay true to ourselves and not let that be a factor in our minds or make us desperate, because if you play desperate, you get out of your style of basketball. So just, wanting it really bad but still staying within Gonzaga basketball, like Brenna said, and staying true to that.
Hi, Aiden Brown, Crimp 2 News, Spokane. UC Irvine's been on a bit of a hot streak right now. I'm sure you guys know that coming into this game. What do you guys need to do to put that fire out and make sure you guys advance into the next round?
I think we need to stay true to our principles for our team, but also recognize that they are a high-pressure team. They rely on their franticness, if that's a word, getting in the jumping in the lanes, just trying to get you to turn the ball over. So we need to make sure we take care of the ball coming into this game. Can't have any wasted possessions. Staying calm, taking care of the ball, I think, are the main keys that we need to focus on coming into this game. Yeah.
Anybody else? Over here in the front.
Cameron McCann, Gonzaga Bulletin. You talked about getting back to Gonzaga basketball. What exactly is prime peak tournament Gonzaga basketball look like?
Just in the season, the best we've played is when we're playing together and we have that joy on the court together. There wasn't a lot of joy against Portland, and there wasn't a lot of it just wasn't. Everyone was kind of tense, and like Eliza said, we were kind of playing desperate, and when we play desperate, it doesn't really bode well for us. So if we can stay relaxed, composed, and it's kind of cliche, but have fun out there and share the ball like we do, I think that's really what Gonzaga basketball is about.
Any more questions for the student athletes? We have no Zoom calls. So ladies, thank you very much. You're dismissed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Howdy. Thank you. Doing well.
Bright lights.
Yes, it is. Work on my tan. No. What year are you?
Junior.
Are you a communications major? Or?
Broadcasting.
Oh, you are. A lot of them have come through here.
This would be the place to be.
We can't get ahead because of the Zoom portion of it. Oh, I had two of them. Actually, I got three of them. I got a little bright one right up there. Oh,
Then you're gonna go to attendees.
did I miss them?
No, that's fine. And then just say before, if you're attending on Zoom and you'd like to talk, please do the raise hand function and you'll see it here.
Do what now?
Just when you do the moderator,
Right.
you'll have the coach give an opening statement.
Uh-huh.
And then also say, those attending on Zoom, if you'd like to ask a question, please do the raise hand function.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I believe, do I have to put allow to talk? And then, then you unmute, then you have to,
You have to ask them to unmute.
yes. Yep, then you just have, make sure you unmute yourself. You'll see them do the raise hand function.
Okay. And it'll just pop up here
Yeah.
as a hand?
Mhm.
Okay. ladies doing?
I didn't know you were going to be here.
Oh, yeah.
How skinny
Right
you
in the
are.
C team.
You look sharp. You dust that suit off nice, huh?
Only for you.
Well, thank you.
If I didn't ask you earlier, reminder to please silence your cell phones if you haven't done so already. And joining us now is Gonzaga University head coach Lisa Fortier. Would like to make an opening comment?
Sure, yeah. We're really excited to be here. It's nice to be in this room instead of some room somewhere else. Something we haven't been able to do in my 10 years as a head coach yet. Obviously, as an assistant, I spent a lot of time in NCAA tournament games here at Gonzaga, but never in this regard, and I'm just excited for our team to have earned this opportunity and looking forward to the game tomorrow against Irvine and seeing what we can put together.
Questions for Coach Fortier? Great.
Spokesman review. Both Brenna and Eliza didn't sugarcoat the reassessing the loss in the WCC. How have you dealt with it too?
What'd they say? We weren't very good. And Portland was better on that day. Obviously, it was a close game. It wasn't like they were significantly better than us. But I don't think we played to our potential at all. And that's always two-sided. That's partially on our team and how we performed, and it's also on what you allowed, the other team's preparation and what they were able to do against us. And I thought that we had shown that we were such a better team than how we were on that day, both from adjusting to the defenses that were thrown at us and also adjusting defensively. I didn't think we made great in-game adjustments. That was we've talked a lot. Even this morning we were discussing some things. We're talking about accountability in our leadership loop because we have several things that we go through, and that's the stage we're on right now. And our coaching staff could have been better. I could have been better. Our players could have been better. Our leadership could have been better. And unfortunately, it's not a great time for that to. You can't have those kind of lapses in the big moments. And so we're going to do our best to not have a repeat of that ever again, but certainly not in our next opportunity, which is tomorrow.
For anybody on the Zoom call, please use the raise hand button if you have a question. Next question for Coach Fortier. In the front.
Cameron McCann, the Gonzaga Bulletin. I remember in an interview after a game, you guys were on a streak of maybe 15 or so games of 10-plus points winning. And you were like, well, I can't ask the other teams to make it a closer game. And then you got a closer game, and obviously you didn't win, but it was still a closer game and a great experience. How does that help you going into the tournament, where there's bound to be close games?
Yeah, I think it's great for us to have, we mentioned it in all the close games we had last season. We never one time worked on situations in practice. We had them every game or every other game. There was a ton of them. And this year, for at least 2 months, we haven't had any close games. And the closest one was 12, and really it was 27 before it got to 12. And so I think that those are just very valuable situations. Nobody likes to be in them. I as a coach, I'm like, it's good for the fans to have close games. I'd rather it just be 30. That's great. But we've been able to look at what we did and how the timeout went, and whose voices were we hearing, and what was supposed to go like this but actually went like that. And that was not just the last 2 timeouts. It was throughout the last quarter and different times throughout the game. And so those things just teach you in ways that you can't be taught when you're up a bunch of points. You just have, when you have that buffer, we're not looking at every setup for a screen or every pass that you make, every checkout. You don't evaluate those things in the same way when you're up because you have such a big margin for error at that time. And so I think it's been great. We've looked at the film, we've talked through it, we've practiced situationally, we've looked at the exact play and talked about what we said in the timeout and how that should have gone, how we could have made that more clear and how the players could have heard it a little different way. And I think come to a place where we all agree we could have done better, and just looking forward to that next chance. That's what always happens. When you lose a game, you always want the next chance, right? And you get to the time of year where you have to be good, otherwise you don't have that next chance. And so for us, we're lucky that we do have another chance to hopefully right that ship a little bit.
Caden Frank with the AP. UC Irvine defensively, that's kind of their strong suit. They give up just around 55 a game, and they had a really long streak of holding opponents under 70 that was just snapped. So, what can you say about them as a unit, and just how you guys feel about that matchup.
Yeah, they're a great defensive team, and it's a different type of strategy than some teams. Some teams press you full court. Some teams zone you the whole time. Some teams want to fundamentally just keep you in front, and they're trying to put pressure on you and trying to turn you over, trying to make you shoot faster than you want to shoot and speed you up. And they're really good at it. Their top guards really set the tone. Those two guards that play out front, and it's difficult if you don't execute, if you don't have crispness on your pass, if you don't have ball fakes, if you're not fundamentally sound offensively, then they will get you. And it's a tough defense to go against. It's different than what we see every day, and I think that's the strength of their team. If they can turn you over and get going in transition, they can get some attacks to the basket, then they're really good. And so, we have some things in place, but I think that their defense is really solid. It's evident that they work a lot on that, and they pride themselves in how they guard.
Hi, Coach. Ian Sachs from Teleland News in South Dakota. What does it mean for you to finally be hosting and be a top 4 seed?
Yeah, I'm just happy for our players. And I don't know how much you guys know about the players that we have on our team, but 4 of them came back for a COVID senior year. They could have gone anywhere else. They could have gone to play pro. They came back with this as a goal of theirs that they set, not that we set. We just want to play our best all the time, coaches do. And they wanted to put themselves in a position where this would be an opportunity that they could experience. So I'm really happy for them, the rest of the team as well, but those guys who made that extra commitment. And, it's just fun. It's different. When you're on the road, it feels like, you're all coming in on a bus. And this time our players are still going to class. Vonnie took a big test this morning. Ella has one after practice. It's a unique experience. And there's not all bonuses, but we just keep talking about how it might feel a little bit different than it does when you're in a new place that you haven't played before or on the road. But hopefully tomorrow at 4:30, it's going to feel like it's all worth whatever is odd, and having to go to class and having just the normal amount of meals and having to cook your dinner or whatever that looks like. And it's just, I've been both a proponent, I've understood it and been frustrated with it over the years, because when I was an assistant coach and we were hosting, we had such great experiences here. And Gonzaga and Spokane is a great basketball community. And I think that we can sell out the building and provide a great quality student-athlete experience. And so when the NCAA made the adjustment to go into the top 16 seeds, I understood trying to prioritize the top teams. But I also knew what we had been able to do here as a lower-seeded team. And so, for us, I think it's just another great experience. It's fun to have quality teams come into our town, to our gym, to play us. I know we've already got to experience your guys' team once before. We'll see what happens after tomorrow, but we're just excited to have this opportunity and have earned it. It feels like in the past, our teams had earned a spot into the NCAA tournament, but they hadn't earned this. And so that's a little bit of a coup for this team and what they've been able to accomplish.
Any more questions for Coach?
Coach, a few of the players have kind of mentioned a mental shift, a shift in standards from last season to this season. Were those conversations initiated by you guys and the coaching staff, or was that something that the players kind of took a lead on to go from an already good to a great team?
I think that it might have been led by them. Brenna and Yvonne and the Trongs and Eliza, they approached me and Mike Nelson this year and wanted to put together a leadership committee, if you say it like that. We preach leadership development throughout the entirety of their time here at Gonzaga. We have a leadership loop that's 18 weeks that we go through, talk about a bunch of different things. And we've done that for the last several years. We meet with a consultant who helps us be the best, most connected team we can. We're trying all the things, but this was the first time that those guys initiated that part, and then we've been a happy and willing partner with them on just trying to figure out how we can operate better, how we can prepare better, how we can manage the good and the bad days better. They're a group of really thoughtful upperclassmen. We have a lot of players like that, but they care deeply. They're hoopers. And they're all going to go on to be something else after basketball's over, I know. But they're going to play basketball as long as they possibly can. And I think that they just, when they're making the commitment to be at Gonzaga for their 5th year, they wanted to find a way to make that the best year that they could. And so far, it's worked pretty well on what they've done. And we haven't solved all the world's problems up there. We've still gone through stuff, but they did set the tone of this is what. And they came in. Their first list was about pretty long of what their standards were. They said, okay, it's hard to have 52 that we're all doing perfectly all the time. But let's strive for that. And I think for the most part, they have found a way to pick the ones that were most important to them and execute them well.
Again, if you're on Zoom, use the raise hand function to ask a question. Any more questions in-house for Lisa? You have 5 minutes left. You gonna let her off that easy?
I'm not that interesting, so.
All righty. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.